off using those Nomad charges, but we'll just have to see. Oddity with the first ban as they do for a second game in a row start on defense.
And it's Jackal again.
Yeah, 2 times in a row. So they really want to keep roaming. They just don't like Jackal, which is quite interesting. It's not, Jackal's not the best operator on this map. It's not terrible.
Especially for
great,
like, I don't know, a relatively small map, or like a map that's, you know, you can't just put a big distance between you and another spot really quickly. You need Jackal to keep track of where they're going. And is that another repeat ban?
Yeah, it is. Bit same so far. So I guess next up is going to be Mirror then, Fnatic.
And then Echo.
Yeah, no, honestly, we've seen Fnatic play a lot of Mirror, so I wouldn't be surprised if they leave it in. Am I going to eat my words? Okay, Valkyrie off the board. No real surprise. Not only is Valkyrie one of the best defensive operators on this map, but we've also seen some great performances from Oddity himself.
Yeah, it's also an operator that they've used themselves a lot, Fnatic Valkyrie, but the mute ban. So,
people may recall way back in U2 Season 1, the grand final of the Pro League, Pensa, now known as G2, versus Black Dragons, now known as Team Liquid. There was the Falco spots, the Falco mute spots in this basement. So there's a lot of nice places you can put mute jammers in the basement of Consulate on top of various objects and tables and such. And it actually prevents players from droning on the floor above. Really clever stuff. It was kind of revolutionary at the time when Falco did it. And I guess denying that, along with all of the other potential droning opportunities, is something that Oddity just doesn't want to have to deal with.
Yeah, well, we're going to be defending the ground floor first off here, Devmata.
That's not something you see every day, but that said, sometimes that little bit of something to just throw off the opponent makes all the difference. The thing that I'm really worried about here for Oddity is the fact that Spec are playing Nomad on this site. You know, if you have control, it'll be impossible to retake, and that's that.
So Rizraz has finally relinquished control of the Wind Bastion operators, has he?
Seems like it. Flexing instead onto Hibana, but as for this defensive setup, Castle, of course, something that we've talked about in the past, a very strong operator for denying lines of sight, for just bunkering down into specific areas and forcing utility to be used by the enemies. So specifically on this front door, Birch will just have to use one of his lifelines.
One of the things that we see a lot of teams do with Castle is they kind of start treating them like reinforcements. But they're a lot easier than that to break on down.
Yeah. Of course, this projector room upstairs is one of the most important areas to have a presence as a defensive side. We see these holes open up through the floor, from which you can deny many of the default planned positions from above. And as such, Fnatic know that it'll be a high priority area for them to take.
Sending in their drones nice and early on. Going to gather as much info as they can. Do you reckon as soon as they see a projector is clear, they're just going to jump on in and dive through the floor?
Well, the thing is that Magnet now playing the buck inside of admin. Not only has he opened up that hatch to prevent any rotates inside of, or to watch any rotates inside of Visa, but he's also opened up that wall above the Visa stairs, which gains an angle all the way into the projector room itself. So there's a lot of angles that Fnatic are preparing, and Godlegion, once again, a tiny bullet hole is all he needs to gain some intel. This is insane. Just look at that. That's so cheeky.
There's Todd gathering a lot of information. Oh, he's right. Oh, he's just missing the Hibana. Very, very close to him. It's triggering me. Oh, Godlegion is going to find a frag, presumably through those bullet holes.
I think that's even sweatier than the sweat holes.
So what do we call them then?
Bullet holes?
Sweatier holes?
I think it's funny. I'm pretty sure, did he reinforce the wall over his bullet holes? He may well have done. Nonetheless, still Lusty, you can see, prepared outside that front door to go for this plan as needed. He does have the smokes and incendiary bolts to cover him when he does, but he's waiting for the all clear from the rest of the team while also droning them in so they have that necessary control. See, Upstairs, Magnet still trying to deal with these plays. Decided to take matters into his own hands. Completely enter in up top. An uncooked grenade, simple pressure down through that hatch. Magnet, I believe, waiting for some kind of flank, and he wants them to come to him so that he can receive this. But the attackers the one who have to make the move. 15 seconds remaining. Rizraz finds the first kill. Magnet perfectly primed, then he takes down Godlegion. Magnet might not expect a second player above, however, this flank could come out in any moment, but the plant is going down.
Oh my god, Todd! Perfect big play.
Perfect plant denial. Magnet can find another, but he can't find the round. What was that, Todd?
Where's the cover?
Wow, that was... I couldn't believe there was no one covering the rotate in through those double doors.
That was a big energy play.
Yeah, that's impressive play for Todd, I think. You know, it takes a lot of, you know, it takes nerves of steel to run through that area and know when to crouch, know to hide.
Just balls to the wall.
Yeah, well, he hit well from Magnet, who was playing above, specifically to deny that kind of push. But Magnet had too many angles to hold.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
So, second bomb site straight off the gate. We've got another not very typically favored
Oddity choice.
Yeah, a bit of an oddity, but I guess Raven's been doing his homework and teaching the blokes how to do a strat.
Do you reckon at Burnt Horizon last week, Raven goes up to Dizzle, hey Dizzle, Dizzle, what's your plans next week?
Takes him out to the bar afterwards, gets him like loosen up a bit.
For the record, we're joking. We're not saying that someone would actually do that.
We are joking. We're having a bit of a laugh. Anyhow, so this bomb site. Why don't we talk a little bit about this bomb site? So obviously, split bomb site and through tellers.
Yeah.
And archives. It's the newest one.
You've got to defend 3 floors at once, really. Like it's I don't know. It's in a sentence why this bomb site is not picked too often.
Yeah, you have to really spread yourself out. You can't sacrifice this top floor in admin because if you have control of admin, then you can control Visa, and so that's where the defenders want to control. So putting a mirror window inside of the little closet helps you to control admin. Of course, though, you have to be really careful because players can simply waltz in through the garage and completely take control of downstairs. And if they do have full control of downstairs, it can be hard to retake. That said, Todd's the first one to find a kill, takes down Specker, putting a thorn in Fnatic's side and D2-ing one of those incredibly strong fraggers from the Fnatic roster.
D2-ing?
Yeah.
Defanging?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Maybe he doesn't have fangs. Maybe he has like giant
Todd, a temporary
fat
dentist.
Teeth. Yeah.
Part-time dentist, full-time R6 player.
Oh gosh. A bit of a crude dentist, but wouldn't put it past him.
He uses a bullet to take the teeth out of his head. How's that for imagery? As this round is going very Oddity favoured. 2 quick frags for them, and I think we might have seen Maggie with some sloppy droning there miss one at the top of Spiral.
Still a lot of numbers going strong for Oddity, and interesting, something harking back to what you said during map 1. Fnatic haven't had a single trade. Yeah, 2 players have died individually in 1v1 gunfights. And it's a bit of a worry. You know, Fnatic try to overcomplicate things a bit, perhaps. Send in too many solo players.
I don't know, is it maybe because they're, as I was so critical of them being one-dimensional, there's no crossfires, it's just firefights.
I think they think maybe a lot about, you know, what ground they have to take and not necessarily about which people they're doing it with in terms of we've got 2 people here that can focus on this one thing and kind of the macro side of it as well. Godlegion's doing a lot of work and he finds the injure. He might even finish it off. Just wants to tap the hand. He'll spray it through the wall. A good job from Godlegion, the player who's continually stepping up for Oddity.
No, that was a pretty suspicious wallbang right there. But they are on the bomb site and they are going for the plant right now, in fact. Okay, no they're not. What? Where was that from, Fast? Where are you? Alright, I think it was just outside, but still. It's pretty nuts as Virtue's going to go for a bit of a fake plant. But 10 seconds, this round's all but over.
Scary position for Virtue. He'll be down and taken out there. Just as you like it, Fnatic completely decimated on that attack. Oddity, once again, very comfortable and confident in their defense.
Well, are we going to see a repeat of last map? Oddity stretch out to a massive lead and then Fnatic bring it back?
Look, I wouldn't put it past them. I don't really want to see it. I'd rather see, you know, a bit of back and forth between the rounds. But look, Oddity have been confident here, and I have to give them credit. It's not like they're just doing, you know, the default bomb sites, the default stuff, and Fnatic's not prepared to deal with it. Or Oddity are just going off good individual plays, and that's likely to switch at the half. Oddity are bringing things to the table to counter Fnatic and to put Fnatic on the back foot, making them... In fact, if you want to go so far as to say, Oddity have these prepared strats that are dealt with best when you can make these large adaptations on the fly to your push. And Fnatic, they're catering for a new player in their roster, and it's very difficult to make those kinds of micromanagerial decisions when you have a new player on your roster. And those specific counter strats.
I still don't know where Fast got that kill from. I think it might have been just outside in the hallway, but it really looked like he was like shooting straight through the floor. Like, I don't know, the silhouette wasn't too telling there. But we are heading into the third round. Third choice bomb site is Garage so far here. Just normally a bomb site you'd see at least first or second is what we were both feeling earlier.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the time you'll see the second to that top floor bomb site, but clearly Oddity, as I said, they're very comfortable with just changing these bomb sites up, bringing in these prepared strategies. Control upstairs seems to be a priority for Fnatic. It's taken quite a long time. This droning, very, very slow progress, almost a minute down.
So, what's the one thing that if you were Fnatic you would change Dev to?
I don't think it's as simple as that. I don't know what to say to a grand statement.
Where's the stepping stone, the very first point? What's Dizzle saying?
I think that something needs to happen for the initiative for some of these Fnatic players. When it comes to, you have a clear and coherent idea of this is the main push. Someone needs to take initiative on that main push. Todd, what are you doing? He finds 2 kills and is only taken out by a Claymore.
Absolute mad lad.
Magnet wants to peek into the bathroom here. He has the skeleton kid, which will help him out a little bit if he decides to do so. He'll open up holes into the bathroom, but Vinny's in a scary position at the moment. Still with the shotgun in hand, he can deal serious damage.
Yeah, Vinny's dancing with death right now. Lucky to still be alive, but I really think Magnet thinks he might have left. And he's even jumping on his drone right in the middle of piano. Vinny could just pop his head around and easy kill, but yeah, he's just assumed it's clear. And there we go. He's going to find him. 2 on 4, Virtue Lusty. Gonna have to try and dig deep on this one. We've seen Lusty clutch out before, but
stretching my memory there, going way back.
Oh yeah,
because I think Fnatic typically rely these days on players like Virtue. Aces is a clutch master on defense, in particular. Virtue, good pairing with Lusty's drone there to find that 1 kill. 30 seconds is still a lot of time to work with.
So this suddenly feels a lot more doable. 2 on 3 is, I don't know. I'm throwing out scientific numbers here, but I think it might be 10 times easier than a 2 on 4.
Statistically proven. All right, just this 15 seconds left though, and come down to a lot of bloodbath. There you go, straight on through that wall. A nice shot from the Kaid shotgun, air quotation marks, and there you have it. Virtue pushing inside, but he won't find the round. 2 more players still standing on the defense.
Alright, so I know what we saw last game happened. Are we worried for Fnatic yet, like on this one?
I'm worried for Fnatic as a whole, but like as a whole, like Fnatic, this hasn't been their top performance today. Whether it's, in that first map, they probably should have chipped away on their half on the attack and won some. Now, I think that I don't expect Oddity will win out overall, but I would be surprised to see another draw.
Well, it's definitely something that could happen. Seeing Vast, we've gone to our 4th bomb site. Seen Vast take up the dock. Go for a bit of a cheeky peek.
Again, looking at these operators up top, the Maestro so powerful for gaining intel and contesting those long angles. So that's certainly something that Oddity can use into their advantage as well.
Well, here we go. You know, I really feel like, you know, we say Todd's such a standout player, but I really feel like he's been having a massive amount of impact here on Consulate.
You reckon Todd has? I think you guess on those runouts.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like he's popping up with, you know, not the most frags, or maybe the most frags, but like the impact frags, like the 2K to start it off last round. He's found the first kill, I think, in the other 2 rounds as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got to credit Todd. You know, he's one of the newer players onto the roster, coming over from August, and he's done pretty well for himself.
Well, 45 seconds down. I think Specker just missed a head on that angle. I could be wrong. It was just the silhouette. So not completely sure. As Rizraz is going to take control from admin.
This is a really nice, staple, simple, you know, business kind of take. Take control of admin, but they will contend with this mirror eventually, which, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see C4s and the like thrown over the top. So, a lot of ideas that potentially work with for Oddity.
Interesting mirror, but you just surely it can be countered pretty easily from the double windows.
Well, I don't know about that. I think that at the moment the intention is to counter it by using a Hibana charge, which should work with no Bandit or Kaid in play, unless if someone's in a position to take those out. Nonetheless, Todd, one of the highlight players for Oddity, taken off the board as he roams downstairs, and the flank is cut from Specker.
Oh, and he might find another one. At least he's seen it run past. He might give the call out to his position.
No.
How does he do that? He's gone and matrixed his way past those bullets.
The worrying thing here is... Okay.
Oh, and the nade from below is actually going to down Vinny sitting behind that mirror. So he's going to be docked back up, but Lusty with the immediate trade onto him. 5 on 3.
Looking good for Fnatic. First time in this attacking half. That said, God Legion knows he has to make a play as he flanks downstairs. Redland also holds steadfast with the Alder in hand. God Legion finds 1 kill downstairs on the flank. Vast and Redland together with these ACOGs holding fast on the bomb site as they just wait for these angles to be contested. Vast pre-firing now through the smoke. He has no other choice. God Legion has to make some difference on this flank. Where will the plan attempt to go down? God Legion finds another one. The plan attempted, but is anyone prepared to deny it? No one knows where it's going down. A peek desperately from Redland forces him to get taken down, and Virtue as well holding onto this just bit by bit. God Legion takes another down, but not out just yet. In fact, Virtue could pull himself back up onto his feet. God Legion forcing to retake 3.
He's only got 35 bullets as well in his SMG here.
Oh, wow.
He's going to have to ace this one if he wants to clutch it out with half the defuse timer gone. You know, this is looking very unlikely.
Oh, wow, what? Shot. Taking down Rizraz is a good start, but his position revealed in no time, even if he finds these kills. Not like the defuse, and Virtue has some revenge for the injure earlier. Fnatic finally steal away an attack round for the first time in this double best-of-1 series.
Well, 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 there we go. Fnatic finally putting up a round on the board. Bit sooner than what they did last time.
Yeah, it's nice. They didn't... 1 round sooner, I guess. Oh, so, bit of a rough time so far for Fnatic, but I guess clawing it back a little bit, it looks good for them.
Yeah, and you know, that round was fairly convincing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll pay that.
Like, what was it, 1 on 3 at the end there?
Yeah. I think that it was good, just overall Fnatic played, you know, piece by piece, and then made their way through, counted a lot of these positions. So, for example, inside of that projector room, and then just good utility. The smoke and the Capital bullets prevented a push in. If there were any Evil Eyes in a position to deny that plan or gain intel, then they must have been dealt with, and Fnatic secured their plan on the back of that, had the numbers to hold it.
Do we really feel like Fnatic insisting on using Nomad is really working?
Look, I haven't seen very many Nomad kills, you know, Nomad-based kills. That said, you know, that doesn't mean that the Nomad's not worth picking. You know, something that's already using in-game mechanics rather than the mechanic of knocking you over onto your backside. But
well, we're back. In case you didn't notice, we were rehosting.
Oh yeah, we didn't really talk about that, did
Yeah.
we? So yeah, obviously just having a bit of a rehost. But now we're back in the game.
No, we paused the game so we could selfishly talk for a couple of minutes.
Obviously, like we didn't want to continue the game because we thought you guys would find it more interesting if we just talked about Nomad and Kaid for about 5 minutes.
And our announcer's back. Is it? Wait, did I just hear something? I heard echo. Oh, sorry. I heard echo.
Okay.
Have you not noticed the announcer's gone on holiday?
I didn't notice that actually.
You'll notice.
Really? So the announcer no longer plays during...
Well, I don't know if it's just...
Maybe dialogue's been turned off.
Yeah,
if dialogue was turned off, then you wouldn't hear the echo talk.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a setting change. Maybe the announcer is back.
Who knows?
Actually, I don't think I heard him say preparation phase or whatever.
He doesn't usually say... Oh, he says you got to use your drones to secure the objective. Locate the objective.
Yeah, something like that. NC. Nothing.
Wow. That gong just rings so much louder than it did before. Anyhow.
Silence is deafening.
It really is. Now, Fnatic reattempt this lobby attack. Oddity were very proficient on this bomb site previously. Fnatic certainly have to step up, make the difference.
If I recall, it was won by Todd. Just not with the diffuser though.
Yeah, that's true.
So Fnatic were in a strong position to win this round, but not to be happened.
Also, previously we saw God Legion do a lot of work up here as well, with his little bullet holes.
Just look how much utility has been used up there as well. Rios, all the Legion mines, it looks like. Impact grenades. So you got Vast up there to support. Echo drones.
Yeah, Vast actually, if he had another angle, he could also help onto those windows of console office, but not to be the go so far. Todd once again doing what he does, roaming around downstairs. We know he loves doing it. He's just watching out for drones at the moment.
He's in prime position to ruin someone's day right now.
Can gather all kinds of intel, but he hasn't found any weird little hearts on those pulse scanners so far.
I thought there was someone right near him earlier.
I like this from Fnatic though. You know, one player outside the main lobby, that's Lusty. He has Diffuser, he has Smokes, he has the Capital Bolts. Whenever he decides that it's time to go for the plant, he can do that, but in the meanwhile, he'll just drone for his team constantly. But he's always in that position for if there is an opening, he will go for that plant.
Yeah, and Lusty, he's got the number of Specker, but if he can actually land it, it's to be seen. In fact, Specker's going to get on out of there.
Interesting. So Todd's
he was way too mobile for Todd to feel like he had a shot.
Yeah, and I think Todd also, you know, sometimes it's just about delivering that information to the rest of the team so that they can decide, you know, where to peek, where not to peek, etc. So now with only 40 seconds left, Fnatic only just kind of establishing control of Projector Room, and you can see Oddity once again playing a very evasive game. They're not taking the fight to the enemies within the first 2 minutes of the round, and it's really helping them out. When push comes to shove, they have plenty of manpower to throw at the problem, and there you have it. These gas canisters can pretty much exclusively deny most of the default plant positions.
20 seconds on the clock too, so that's the whole 30 seconds remaining. Virtue is going to find one, but God Legion is going to trade him on back. Spec is going to take some damage as well as that last Smoke Babe's going to come on out. Spec has been finished off by God Legion. Magnus going to find his own from above, but can't get the next one. 2 on 3, and Lusty has to push in and try and plant, and God Legion to finish him off. There we go. Oddity protected bombs indeed.
They certainly did. They did very well at that. I love that. Smack on the head for you, mate.
It got such a satisfying sound, doesn't it?
It really does, even when you just get pummeled directly into the ground like that. But it's really interesting. It was 16 seconds on the clock when the first player died. 16 seconds remaining in the round. And we went down to 9 players from 10. that is so very late in the round to have your first engagement.
Here we go. Oddity just keeps switching things up, going back to the split bomb site. You know, I really like the idea of split bomb sites. Like, I wish more maps had them. I just think this one is not executed well. I don't know, it's not great for the defenders, I feel.
How do you mean?
Well, like, I don't know, you remember Hereford's split bomb site? I felt that was so defensible. If you knew how to play it right, it was, you could turtle so good on it. House split bomb site? Okay, that's a different story, but...
Well, you're talking about house as well.
Yeah.
I think that the trouble with this bomb site is there are just too many things. So, obviously, you need to hold the top floor, because that's a great area of contention. If all you had to do was hold the top floor and, you know, hold that middle floor, you'd be pretty good. But holding the bottom floor as well, and more specifically preventing a push from garage, from that red hallway and from the kitchen, that is where this bomb site becomes a bit unwieldy in my eyes. You always have to have extra numbers down there so you can prevent that push, and it ends up being the case that you play a really free roam around this bomb site on back of some really good setup so that you can deny the plant from almost from as many positions on the map as possible.
Whoops. I think someone missed their drone throw. But yeah, I agree. Do you reckon this bomb site maybe would have been improved if it was in Visa and admin above?
No, not Visa. Visa would be way too easy to plant, I reckon. Too easy to just get into that building. That's why it's good that it's Tellus.
I'd have to say that it really felt like they wanted to do something with the archives area on bomb, and that's why one of the bomb sites is down there.
I get you. I think it's a good site. I think if the bomb site was just in archives, then maybe it'd be a bit better. Oh, Todd's going to
free kill Todd, but no, he misses and Magnet wins that!
What? Okay, step 1. Magnet repel into admin without checking that Todd's there. Step 2, Todd pre-fire onto a player repelling in the window. Step 3, Todd missed all his bullets. Step 4, Magnet killed Todd.
Todd do the potato.
Yeah, that wasn't great. Oh, nice way to take out that camera. For those who don't know, you just, if you're in admin, spray that little corner of the floor.
You saw Virtue do it so much at Invitational.
Yeah, I love it. I do that every time I play this map now.
Surveying.
Denies that Visa camera.
Do you shout him out every time you do it? And
yeah.
Shout out to Virtue.
Yeah, in chat. I just write into all chat. So, Vinny on the pulse, down in basement. This is the bomb site itself, but it's also on account of this vertical play, he can deny any kind of plant going in down on the bomb site above. Ooh, this is a dangerous position, Red Alert. What are you doing, man? There's a bit of a trade there, God Legion, but he doesn't know that it's an injure, and he knows there's another player above. The C4 will come through. That may well take out the first player. In fact, it does, but it's an expensive finish off.
This is looking good for Fnatic. It really feels like they're in charge of this round, but their only enemy right now is the time. If they can, if they get the plant denied, then this round might be a bit worse. But it is just Vinny in a 1-on-3. Plant goes down.
His position was completely cornered off by those Zephyr charges. He eventually found Virtue, but it was far too late, and now the last player left. He does have a C4 still to use, but really the time for that C4 to be useful is far expired.
Yep, half the time has gone down, and, you know, pretty much no chance here, right? Like, we're not expecting him to clutch out, especially with just the 3 HP that he's got remaining. That little time on the clock, and Rizraz with a bullet in his side.
Well, Fnatic certainly did better in this map's half compared to their attack half on the previous map.
4-2.
Better than 5-1, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an improvement.
Not a huge amount of an improvement, but it's certainly something. And now we head into Fnatic's defensive half, where we would expect they could step it up a bit.
Yes, well, 2-4 at the half, as you said, as we are going to be looking at us again, so we can just pause the game.
It's a bit of it, and we've seen Virtue was a bit like that Invitational. We've seen Magnet be confident in doing that in the past as well.
Yeah.
But now you have 3 players doing that, and sometimes you just need that consistency and that norm, and someone to actually be doing the damn main push instead of having 3 people trying to flank. And look, I'm not saying that that's happening, but I've got to say we have seen an unusually low number of trades tonight on the Fnatic half.
Yeah, well, now they are on defense where they've been doing a lot better, it has to be said. So, are they able to bring this one back, or are we going to see Oddity reign supreme here?
I definitely think Fnatic will prosper on this defensive half, but that said, for the first time, I believe, Oddity whipping out the Nomad. We have seen it from Fnatic in the past, but for Oddity, this seems to be a first. God Legion himself flexing onto that position as well.
I think they ran it once on Villa, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, well, the thing here for God Legion is that he's often playing fast operators with good guns. Not necessarily the best guns, but we've seen him play Sophia, Ashe, IQ, and he's good at that. Nomad, she doesn't, like I was saying before, she doesn't have smoke, she doesn't have soft breach, she doesn't have hard breach, she doesn't have gadget denial. But she also, the other operators that do well and don't have those things are fragging operators. And, I don't know, she doesn't have amazing weapons. They're alright, they're not amazing.
Well, they're still one-shot headshot, right?
Alright, well, just land your headshots then, God.
Yeah, you're only as good as your aim.
Oh, that's not the message that I want to portray on this Pro League broadcast, Monkey. You can do a lot more than just aim.
I'm clearly joking right now.
Some people won't know that, alright, Monkey.
Alright, disclaimer. Clearly joking.
Don't listen to anything Monkey says. End of disclaimer. So what do you think about that Thatcher grenade? That
redacted, that's what I think.
Two Thatchers into the window.
Look, I can say nothing and it won't matter because you told them not to listen to me.
It's alright, no one listens to me.
Yeah, okay, that seemed like a silly waste of utility, didn't it? Like, before they sprayed down that window, or unless it was done by Fnatic, just toss it up to sit on the ledge and see you later to like pretty much all the ADSs they've got on yellow stairs. Yeah. Oh, Magnet's going to take tick of damage, but he's gone aggressive down the stairs, but the drone's there.
How does he pull off that rotate? Oh, Todd! A beautiful grenade, and I thought there was a second ADS there to cover.
I was about to say he's still alive, but no, he was not. God Legion has been downed elsewhere on the map. Looks like he is going to get picked up to that new reset HP of 20.
Yeah, it's not super great, but it's something.
Thoughts, Dev?
Oh, I think that it's good for it keeps consistent instead of having the idea of a reset being something that's counterintuitive. But on the other hand, it obviously is a severe nerf to in a lot of positions.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's a great thing. It just improves the flow of the game so good. So we're not going to be seeing people picked up from DBNO from intentional teammate damage too often, or self-damage. Wow, as we're going to see the swing in, but Rizraz is there to find him. Nomad, as well, another one for Rizraz. But is he going to see the one close to the wall? No, Vast is going to find him. Todd's also going to find one simultaneously. As Lusty goes for the C4 as he goes low as well. Just Lusty and Specker remaining with 15 seconds.
Good use of utility from Fnatic, but Oddity pulls through. Lusty, though, dealing some serious damage. He has been taken hugely low. Specker, a beautiful shot. It's a 1 versus 2 clutch position for Todd. Specker rounding this corner. Does he know where he is? Oh, perfect timing for Todd. Just one player left. There's so low HP on Lusty, and he can go below. Use a skeleton key on the diffuser. Todd, very cautious this run. He now... Oh, no, he has to reload. Open it up, Todd. No, he has to stick it.
No!
Lusty in the wrong position. Clutches it out in a 1 versus 1. Todd. No.
Oh, he's going to be kicking himself watching this right now.
There was the body on the floor as well. He was just pummeling bullets into...
Oh, as soon as you saw that he had to reload, you're like, nah, he's not winning this.
Nah, without that reload, that was it.
Ah, that is a real feels bad man moment.
It was a good idea, but no.
Poorly executed. No. Good idea. 6 out of 10.
You give it a 6, really? That's pretty generous.
Yeah, I suppose 3 out of 10.
Good idea, poorly executed. 3 out of 10.
I gave it a 6 for the the idea.
Okay, no, I give it a 3 for the idea.
But in theory, it should have worked. It's just the stars did not align, or more like the bullets in the body.
The bullets really didn't align, though, certainly. Oh, that's a good clutch for Fnatic. And I've got to say, throughout that run, it was back and forth. You know, bit by bit, Oddity obviously messed up a little bit with the Thatcher grenades, but then it didn't matter. They had a good grenade clearing out yellow stairs. Oddity got into some good positions, but their initial entry onto the bomb site died. Fnatic held fast, used good utility. Oddity came through, pulled through, forced the plant down. Fnatic attempted to retake, did some damage. Oddity struck back, and then Fnatic pulled through. So, a good round, a lot of back and forth, and I'm impressed by both teams for their performances during that round.
Agreed. But we do still have Oddity in the lead, as we're now defending a basement here. Looks like we've got Virtue pulsing down in Archives himself.
Lovely music there in Visa. I often just go to Visa on this map and just sit in the corner prone with Cav for the entire round, just listen to the music.
You know, one of the things I do like that, well, you know, I just love how they change up the music every so often, just to keep it fresh.
That is true. All right, let's talk about the game for a minute. So a great little...
It is the game, but okay.
You know, the match, I guess.
I know.
So up here at the top of yellow stairs, we've got Specker holding this position. He has a lot of angles that he can deal with on this long angle, as you can see, and we know with the K1A, he can pop some heads. He's also disrupting some drones. His exact position, though, won't be made aware of, as he does have that disruptive device to prevent the drones from seeing him.
It's a very, like, extended Fnatic hold. Like, it's like they're all over the map right now.
But the thing is, you know, Specker goes downstairs, defaults off of his position after being droned. What does that cost him? It costs nothing to default off a position, but it does cost the attackers time. Nomad is the first one to fall. That's God Legion being taken down by Virtue. Fnatic on this defense playing very similar to what we saw from Oddity with a pulse and down inside of Archives.
God Legion's just really not having any impact on this Nomad, is he?
I think it comes down to it's just not a typical role for him. And perhaps he needs to be on a more comfortable role in order for him to make the impacts that we would expect from him. Ooh, there's a double flank. That's also what we know Fnatic for. Attempting a double flank up those main stairs through Visa, however they are spotted out. This is something that's so typical Fnatic. They grab an intel gatherer such as Pulse or Valkyrie and they attempt to retake ground that they have sacrificed for no cost using that. Doesn't work out as they got droned.
Yeah, it's not something you'd normally expect a team to do, like to try and retake so aggressively, especially ground that's been given up for free almost. But 40 seconds on the clock right now. Todd not having much luck with this buck. As Vast is going to find Magnet. Is that all the way upstairs?
What are you doing, Vast? Okay, really cautious about this flank from Fnatic, but we're really running out of time. Pushing down the yellow stairs now. Oh, but he's spotted. Specker takes him down. A good shot from Lusty as well. Just 15 seconds.
Yeah, 15 seconds, and Todd's going to have to come face-to-face here with Specker. Oh, that's a nice shot there from Todd, but Vinny, he's next up. Virtue's going to find one, and Virtue with the second. Specker not even needed as Fnatic even up the scoreline to 4 apiece.
Very strong start to the defensive half for the guys in orange as we head up to the next bomb site defense, but turning up the heat on that previous round. That's so textbook Fnatic in my eyes. Okay, let's have some presence offside. When we get to a position where we're feeling the heat, but we're not going to die yet, let's rotate away from our presence upstairs. All right, let's use our intel to gather whether is there a position when we can actually make a flank. They attempted that, they were spotted, so they didn't go for the flank. So it's all of these judgment calls, and I can just hear Magnet sounding off. And I assume it's Magnet, I don't actually know who's making most of those mid-round comms like that. Maybe it's Virtue, because he's the one playing the pulse. But that to me is something that kind of defines Fnatic, something I've seen them do for a long time. Yeah. And when Fnatic are doing well, it's because they're playing into the playstyle that I would consider their identity, and it's that kind of playstyle, these, you know, using their utility or their intel gathering to make these micro decisions. And that's something that I've been impressed with them in the past, and it worked out for them in that round as well.
Do you think they call it something like the wibbly wobbly, unpredictable strat?
You reckon?
I don't know. It's just, it seems like they do whatever they want, but they play it off feeling and off knowledge and off information gathering.
Yeah, I get you. That said, like, you can see the patterns. So as soon as I saw, you know, 2 players on those stairs, it's like, okay, I've seen Fnatic do this 100 times before. I know what they're doing. God Legion with the AK is something you mentioned earlier. We've seen a lot of ARX, but God Legion seems to prefer the AK. I just love the model on that gun. It's such a classic.
Oh yeah, for sure. Interesting to see a Blackbeard come out.
Yeah, it used to be a staple on Consulate, but we've seen a lot of teams, you know, not prefer the Blackbeard these days. Not really, I would say, prevalent in as an operator that we frequently see in our meta. You know, we've had teams frequent it. You know, Fnatic have Rizraz and Ace, both Blackbeard players, but more recently, less so. So, curious to see how Redland will perform.
Well, Todd's found out there's someone in Projector, but he's lost his drones for his trouble. Looks like it's going to be the first point of contact, as is pretty normal for this bomb site, of course.
Oh, no. Wasn't a great flash, but it's something. And now we can see this setup inside of Projector with that deployable shield assisting that main anchor position, but I don't believe there's anyone playing there. Meanwhile, Virtue's okay. And Virtue's the first one to get taken down as well. So Oddity looking pretty good. You know, they've cleared out Projector, and they have the first pick.
Device ready.
Ooh. Are they really going to be expecting him to not falling back? Oh, did he not see him, God Legion?
Device is set.
Careful position now. You can see all of Oddity taking really firm control of the top floor. Fnatic have defaulted off.
Yeah, they know it's there.
But the real problem here is that Oddity have to be cautious about the time management. You know, they have control of that top floor, but where is the progress? Oh, wow, a repel on piano windows. That's a nice pick for Vast, taking down Magnet as he thought he was safe, waltzing through the bomb site. Oh, is this going to be a vault-in?
Just going to go for an execute like this. Here we go.
Is this really what we're going to see?
And he started playing diffuser, but he's changed his mind. He's trying to situate himself right in the corner, but Lusty from the bathroom is going to find him. That's the diffuser drop. This God Legion is going to trade back onto Rizraz. It is a 2-on-4 with Specker all the way downstairs, but oh, he is in a position to rake some havoc. He's got a C4 with 15 seconds on the clock, 10 seconds, Plant's going down.
Oh, no,
Specker! That's not going to do enough! The Plant's going down, Specker!
That would have been a round win right there, a 1 versus 4 clutch, but Specker misses the C4. You're not meant to flick when you're deploying utility, mate, but he does find 1 kill. He's taken down. Oddity break a lead on the back of an incredibly horrendous missed opportunity from Specker.
You could see how annoyed he was by himself, by how quickly he threw himself into that clutch.
Oh, man.
He just went sprinting up those stairs, took the first fight, tried to take the second one immediately after, but what happened there? Do you reckon like he accidentally like turned his mouth?
I think it was.
I think
it was. So he sees two heartbeats. He's thinking to himself, which one is the planter? I need to kill the planter. So he starts to look around. He starts trailing one. He starts trailing the other one, which was the not planter. He sees it still moving, so he moves back. He sees one that's not moving. He whips out the C4, and then maybe he thinks, oh, maybe the other one was the planter, or maybe there's a call that's conflicting the information. He doubts himself. He flicks away, and he misses the C4. That's my only explanation.
I'm going to go with I think it was a call that made him change his mind last second.
It did seem like a call, didn't it? You know, he seemed committed to that, and then there was some kind of call.
Yeah, and he was right on.
Yeah, he had it perfectly. That would have been 100% a win.
Well, this game's still going.
Yeah, that's a scary moment for Fnatic, but Oddity still, you know, they are 1 round away from receiving a second tie tonight, which is certainly something that they can be proud of against Fnatic, but I'm also certain that they're keen to chew off a bit more than that. Fnatic certainly... The difference here really... Okay, here you go, Monkey. Exactly what you were suggesting.
Are they listening to me?
They must be. So, the difference here is if Fnatic win this, then that's like, oh good, they didn't lose to Oddity. They only drew 1 map. If Oddity win this, that's, holy cow, Oddity beat Fnatic, they are still the Fnatic killers.
Still, I do want to say that I think, you know, no matter how this map ends up, 7-5, I think Oddity played better than Fnatic.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Like, do you agree? Do you disagree? Or?
Yeah, no, I think it's fair to say, look, Fnatic, I think, have been doing some things well, but it is quite apparent to me that they have just had a roster change, and it shows in the way that they're playing. There is a lot of roughness to the way that they're playing this.
Him and Magnet fighting back and forth, and Magnet with the one-tap shotgun is going to take Vast off Repel there. I think Clay Pigeon is the plus 10 points for that one.
Yeah, Clay Pigeon now smashed up.
And no trade.
Yeah, no trade at all. It's very difficult to trade a position like that. It comes down to Magnet playing his role and position very, very well. Unfortunately, no utility from Oddity exacted onto that area and just to clear him out. It
just seems like a dumb fight for Vast to be taken in the first place.
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't think he was thinking to take the fight, but...
Don't you hate it when you don't mean to take fights and you do?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just being overly critical, and here we go, the Echo live drone.
I do love that we see that Echo icon over the Echo drone. Now, the Echo was spotted out. Now, if I was the attacker there, I would be suspicious of if there's a player following up that Echo drone.
You're like, why would there be an Echo drone downstairs?
Exactly, and you can see how cautious Todd is. He's trying to play safely, just slow walking, holding these angles, waiting for Virtue to fall into his arms.
Well, here we go, Rizraz on the stairs. He's gathering a bit of information there with God Legion's position. He's trying to flush Magnet out as Todd's going to find Virtue. That's the plant going down. No, that's going to be cancelled there by Vinny, and he's going to start up once again. Oh, he's being stopped by the Echo drone. He's going to try and reposition as Lusty is going to finish him off with 20 seconds on the clock. Still having no luck either way with this duel upstairs. See Redolent jump back on in, but he's going to be found out. It's up to God Legion now. 8 seconds on the clock. 1v2. 5 seconds on the clock. I don't think he's got this one unless he can go absolutely ham. In fact, he doesn't even see Lusty. Fnatic are going to even things up once again.
That was a good hold upstairs, and I've got to say, you know, credit to some of the Oddity players who did their role really well. For example, Todd, holding downstairs, it was a really good read to play patiently and wait for Virtue to come and try and retake that bottom area. So that got him a kill, but upstairs, Oddity, they didn't actually have a full way of dealing with that mirror window. They just kind of smoked it up.
Open it from below.
Exactly, and there was Todd below as well, and it wouldn't have been that much extra work for him to go over, open up that little hole and pop that mirror window, which would have made a huge difference for that attack. So I think that was a missed opportunity. Otherwise, Oddity, you could see those Echo drones also harassing them, so Fnatic so rich on information from those Echo drones and those Maestro devices that they knew they were in the best position to make the good decisions. And Oddity, you know, bit by bit, their utility got wasted. Fnatic was still there.
And they even started off so well by listening to me.
Let's just, we'll pretend that they actually listened to you.
Well, maybe that's why they lost the round. What's the plan here?
Self-burn.
4 drones by, I think it was 4.
Waiting for a Mozzie.
Yeah. You know, we saw the live drone last round with the Echo. Are we going to see a lot more of that with Mozzie?
In my eyes, that's actually where Mozzie comes into play. I think that...
Okay, of course. I mean, are we going to see it in Pro League, I suppose?
Yeah,
is Vinny. Sure. Hello, that's Smoke.
It's a very early pick and also a long shot with the hollow sight. Not bad for Oddity. Something you typically see a Smoke playing aggressive on this bomb site. Maybe on the other bomb sites in a more exposed position, but not on this one. I think Specker is going to be one of the main priorities for for Oddity to deal with in this round. We can see him and Magnet upstairs. Very similar kind of setup to what we saw previously. It'll take a lot more than just drones to deal with these players.
Oh, has Magnet been droned here? I don't know if that drone saw him or not, but I think, who is it, Vast? I have no idea. Is that Vinny?
I think it's Vast.
Yeah, judging by the sound of the gun, I think it was, yeah, Vast.
Fortunately, no grenades on Vast. We'd have to call over Todd to clear out this position of Magnet. I don't believe there are any ADSs in the room either. That's a drone that'll get taken out pretty easily. Vinny also could use his utility to flush out this position from Magnet, but I don't think he's in a good spot to actually engage that utility. The one player who does have the good utility, so on the other side of the map, that's Todd. Specker and Magnet together taking out 3+ drones from this position, which is a huge amount of information.
They've got a good crossfire, but oh, looks like Specker might be moving. No, he's still there. Just reposition slightly, and oh, Todd just can't find the right angle.
Todd in a perfect position to make this happen, and he finds a shot onto Specker. Still Magnet. His position hasn't been discovered, and he's playing patiently, waiting for someone to peek into his crosshairs. Todd's the one to do it. He finds the first one, and just waiting for a second.
Heard that air jab go on off earlier. I think it might have been Virtue trying to go for a flank up of stairs that God Legion's on right now. Service stairs.
God Legion also playing patiently. Finally, Magnet goes down. You can see the sigh of relief on Oddity now that they know only 2 players remaining. Virtue and Lusty, are they planning on doing this flank? No way. Surely not. Alright, maybe just Virtue now. You can see he's trying to glean intel on what's happening up above the Visa stairs. He sees one player inside of the lobby going over towards Spiral. Perhaps he can call out. Maybe there'll be some Spiral pressure coming out, but Lusty is very keen on covering this yellow stairs. 2 players file on in. A good headshot for Lusty, but there's 2 more he has to contend with. God Legion finds one. Vast to clean it up, and Oddity doing so well.
Match point for them?
Yeah, I believe you may be right. 6-5 so far. We're heading all the way to the final round.
That was such a strange round from Oddity. To kick things off with, they have all those drones out the front of admin for some reason. Sorry, Visa. And then, like, I don't know, their roamer hunt upstairs. It's not like they were droning, because it seemed like all their drones got taken out before they even knew the positions. It's like they were face checking very slowly and still came out on top there. And then that last 40 seconds, the push onto the bomb site, it was another thing they did with no info.
Yeah. They had a really, like, a huge number of drones when an early one was taken out. And I think one of the big problems is that there was no activation on the back of those drones. I've got to say that part of that, I think, is due to having, you know, the right players in the right positions at the right time. For example, Vast repelling on that connector window. What can he do from there? He can cut off rotations inside of Projector, mainly. But he can't clear out the position that Magnet was playing. If it was Todd in that position, then he would have known to do that. So the drones need to come through in a position where the players can actually take those engagements and clear out the players that the drones are spotting.
They didn't even know Magnet's exact position.
Which is a bit silly, really, because of the number of drones he took out.
And like the sloppy droning of just droning right past it rather than checking every corner.
Yeah. Well, as we head on to match point, we're again in this same position where it's either Oddity taking this round and the map, I should say, 3 points to go with it, or Fnatic will tie it up and we'll just get 1 point attributed to each team. Ooh, God Legion saw him there. What are you expecting here? Is this...
What?
Wait, what?
Hello?
No, plan denied, and that's not a good position. Though it looks to be forced out. Redolent deals a bit of damage. This is incredibly aggressive from Oddity to close out this map. But it's also looking very dangerous. Potentially the last smoke babe to be thrown. 2 players have been dropped from either team, but Redolent also incredibly low on health.
Okay, this is a really big and ballsy play for the very final round.
The problem here is that there's so much intel onto that plant spot. Rizraz still has a smoke babe, I believe, and now those Echo drones are in position. Oddity have done some damage, but they have to retreat back. They have to do something different. They can't commit now to this same push.
Now that you've said that, watch it work.
Oh, he takes out the Echo drone. That's a good piece of information denied. They're baiting out that gas canister, but Rizraz taking a huge amount of damage. Vast still choking on those gas babes. He has no choice but to peek straight into Magnet. Redolent so low on HP, but Rizraz taken off the ground, all up to God Legion and Redolent. And that is a second draw for Fnatic and Oddity.
I'm unsatisfied.
That's fair. Fair enough.
Both those matches ending in a draw. And once again, I'm going to say, Oddity played better. And I suppose that's just because of the standard we hold Fnatic to more than anything else. But still,